Hi, everybody. This is your girl, Deborah Coco, and welcome to another edition of Just Give Me the Mic. Happy New Year's, by the way. I hope everybody came into this year on a great note with good vibes and positivity. Today, I'm excited because I'm actually doing a women's empowerment type of show today. We have three powerful women that are in the building that's going to tell us about some of the major contributions that they've made in the entertainment industry. And we're going to discuss a little hip hop and the changes and the evolution of that. And also film. We're going to talk about some film. And my first guest, I'm very excited to sit with her. I actually had a chance to work with her a little bit on one of her projects. Yeah. So I'm excited to sit down today to hear her story. So I would like to welcome Iesha Brown to the show.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for joining me because like I said, before we had a chance to actually meet, I would see postings and like clips on YouTube that I thought, I'm like, wow, this is really good work. So to be able to actually meet you and see you like behind the scenes doing your thing, directing, acting, and putting all these visions together, I just thought that that was excellent coming from a woman. So salute to you for that.
I appreciate
Another woman in the business doing her thing and following her dreams. So before we jump into what's happening now with your film company, give us a little background on how you got here today.
Yeah, well, I started from hip rapping, actually. Before it was hip hop, before we called it, we didn't know what to call it.
Right.
We was just doing it. That's when I started, like, you know, like early 70s.
And you was on the mic doing your thing. Oh, wow.
I started breakdancing first.
No way.
I don't want to talk about that too much.
Oh, no way. All right, all right.
Started that, and then, you know, we had the little cardboard box.
In the park, spinning, and doing all
break
that.
Dancing, started with that, and then I started rapping, and that's where my writing comes from MCing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people that you used to listen to? Like, who were some of your favorites, if you could remember from that time?
Well, back then it was, you know, this is before wax.
Right.
So, you know, I used to go check out the Funky 4+1 More, because we had a schoolyard right next to where I live, 118, and that's where they had all the jams at.
Oh, wow.
So it was Funky 4, it would be Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious 5.
The originals.
It was the Treacherous 3.
Right.
It was a couple of other, it was a lot more.
Crash
the Mercedes,
Crew.
Crash Crew.
Right,
Crash Crew, Mercedes Young Ladies. It was a lot of, and some people that wasn't even known, you know.
Coming out and they was adding their voice to hip-hop at that time.
And at that time, when we used to rap, it was basically one person would rap, and we all would have like basically the same rhyme. And we just add our spin onto it. That's how it started out.
That's interesting. You know, I never heard that.
That's how it started out.
So you would actually somebody would say something.
So they'd be like, yes, yes, sure, to the beat, you're so unique, that's what he would say. Then I would add my own spin onto that.
Yeah, yes, sure. Okay.
You know, and add my rhyme onto that. Yeah, that's how it started, and that's what we used to do at first. Yeah.
So you watched the whole thing like evolve. Yeah. Like you said in the beginning, nobody really know the direction, where it was going, or really what to do with it. You know.
We was doing it. So back then, when there was no records, we would just rap on top of instrumentals, and he would just keep looping it back and forth so we have a space to rap on. Right. That's what we used to do at first. You know, and so if you could, this is before records. Right. You know, everybody looking at it now, and at that time they didn't really believe in it. You know, they didn't believe in hip hop. Right. This was just something that kids in the streets we used to do to pass the time.
It started a whole new genre of music, right?
It
that
sure
we listen to today, and we love today.
And hip hop itself have influenced so many different other cultures,
hasn't it? The way we dress, the way we talk, everything. You know, and it's international. Like it's crazy the effect that it has grown and had on all of us, you know? And even I can remember my parents saying, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what they so used to Smokey Robinson or whoever they was listening to. So I'm coming in the house bebopping and everything, like, what is that? You know? And look at them today. Now it's like, it's here. It seemed like it's been here forever.
I know.
Right? So how did, so you did the rapping, you did the dancing, and then what happened? You started writing at that point?
I started writing books.
Okay.
Started writing books, and then I wrote a couple of novels, and then I ended up meeting Sha Rock, you know, from the
Yes,
Funky
MC
Four.
Chirac,
Yeah.
shout out to her. Yes.
So I met her, I think, on Facebook. Not on Facebook, MySpace.
MySpace. Okay, woo.
I think it was MySpace. And I reached out to her, and then I think maybe some time went by, then she reached back to me and said, you know, she was interested in telling her story and asked me would I write it. So it was called Luminary Icon.
I remember.
That was the name.
Awesome book, by the way. Great book, and it's still out. You can get that book, right?
Yeah,
On
I
Amazon,
believe. Yeah,
and stuff
or
like
Chirac,
that. So check
she
it out.
has on her page or her website.
Okay.
I think you can get it from there.
Okay, Luminary Icon. Great book.
Yeah, and so doing that, I knew a lot of the stuff, but I still had to ask her and just go like I didn't know.
Right. Follow her story.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And you know, it was good. I had to do a lot of research. Like I said, I already knew a lot of it, and then get in contact with a lot of people that was, you know, like the members of a group, you know, and get in contact with a lot of people. But that's
an experience.
Yeah, it was.
Because when you writing for yourself, you writing your story.
Yeah, yeah.
So now you had to transition over to how can I bring this lady's story to life, you know, which is different.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
so
a good
that was an
experience.
experience, and you know, it's a lot involved with writing.
Yeah,
so for yourself being an author at that time, what are some of the things you had to do to get your stories out there? Because even social media was kind of new, right?
Yeah.
People weren't sure really how to use that for marketing purposes. So what are some of the things you used to do to get your novels out?
When I started doing the novels, I used to sell books at first.
Okay.
I was living in Virginia. I didn't even know anything about the book game at all. But I ended up coming up to New York, and I saw all these novels, and I was like, wow, this is different. And I saw not True to the Game, Dutch was the first one I saw.
Okay.
And I think it was Harlem Girl Lost by Treasure Blue. I took those books back, I read those books, and then I would look at the back of the book to see the information about the author.
Right.
And I got in contact. One day I was coming up to New York to buy, I went to Queens to a wholesaler place to buy some novels to take back to Virginia to sell. And I actually, I was talking to the owner, and she said, well, I got Terry Woods on the phone right now.
Wow.
So I said, let me talk to her.
Big
So
time,
I was telling Terry Woods, I said, well, you know, I introduced myself and I said, well, one day I'm gonna put my books are gonna be on the shelf right next to yours. And then she said to me, well, why one day? And I was like, and a light bulb came on. I was like, you know what, she's right.
That was
and
positive.
Right after that, I went home and started writing. And I wrote that book in like 30 days, my first one.
So that takes a lot of discipline, right, to stay with the story.
It does.
And then at that time, before, people would write books and go to bookstores.
Yeah.
It was more face-to-face with your customers and the people that used to purchase from you.
Right.
So is that how you started? Did you like kind of hit the streets, so to speak, to kind of get your novels out? I
used to do Barnes and Nobles and Borders.
Right.
Was at Borders, I think they closed down, but they were open then. And I would do a lot of book signings with Borders.
Nice.
Set it up with them and just go from state to state doing like a book tour. Okay. That's what I was doing at first.
And that's still important today. Even though you have all these different outlets through social media, it is good to do book signings and have that face-to-face interaction with your customers.
And I would publish myself because it was hard to, at that time it was really urban, because I write urban fiction. And so it was hard to really get in, so I just published myself.
Now, the publishing of your books and writing your own stories kind of led to 180th Street Films, right?
Yes,
which
it sure
is
did.
Live and doing so much today. So how was that transition in your life?
It's, you know, came from that writing that one rap. It's the same thing.
Look at that. Look at that. It just kept growing.
Yeah. So now what we're doing is we're taking the books and we're adapting it to film.
So the actual films that you're doing the content is coming from the books that you wrote?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're bringing that vision from paper to screen and bringing it to life. So tell us about how many books did you write? Give us the titles.
I wrote Tag Your Man.
Tag Your Man. I like that. I like that.
Tag Your Man. 1 and 2. Shoe Whore. The Shoe Whore Snatched. I wrote so many, I can't even right now.
With Shoe Whore, did you used to do things for a pair of shoes? Like, what was that about?
You might have to check it out first. And I'm getting ready to turn it into...
That just stood out to me. I don't know why.
I wrote another one called Thug in a Cocktail Dress. And I also ghostwrite, too. And I wrote a lot of books and with somebody else's name on this. I don't really want to... But, yeah, I did that, too.
Okay.
For a while, yeah. A lot of urban novels. May not have my name on it, but I am the author of it, yeah. So I did do that a lot.
I like the way you transition your creativity, right? You found another way to evolve and grow in your artistry, which I think is very important to highlight as well.
Yeah.
So how do you feel now with the film company, the films that you've put out? Tell us about the films that they can catch on YouTube now. Tell us where they, tell us about that.
Bad and Bougie and The Last Re-Up.
Yes.
So Bad and Bougie was a book that we turned to a web series.
Okay.
And The Last Re-Up, I just came off the top with that one.
Okay.
But both of those are on YouTube now. And yeah, Bad and Bougie was about this girl that she got forced to become a government informant because she was doing a little bit of stuff, just, you know,
and it's like
minor
either you
stuff.
do this or you're going to be in jail. Right, okay.
And that's where I had the pleasure of, you was in Bad and Bougie.
Yes. Yeah, I was in the street, like kind of like, spreading the news.
Yeah.
But that was fun. And what about Last Re-Up? What is that about?
And The Last Re-Up was, I basically I got the idea from my son's friend had a video called The Last Re-Up. And I'm a title person. I can write stories from just one little title.
Oh, nice.
And so when I saw that title, I said, oh, I like that. I think I'm going to do it as a film. And at first, all of them, those rappers, they were going to be in The Last Re-Up, but everything fell through, and they all live in Connecticut. They all fell through. And I had to just do a casting call in New York and got a lot of people that I know in New York and do The Last Re-Up. But The Last Re-Up started off being about a young boy that ended up killing his sister by mistake.
By mistake?
Yeah. He was like 8 years old. He found a gun under the tub, and his sister, his sister came in the room, and she's like, hey, they was playing hide-go-seek. So while they was hiding, he saw a gun under the tub. He pulled it out. The sister came in and said, hey, I found it. She startled him. He turned around and shot her.
Wow.
And it was like 11 years later, what happens.
Okay.
That's basically that's how it started out. But then Last Re-Up started each season, because we did 3 seasons, started just taking a life of his own each season. But it started off being like that.
So Bad and Bougie has 1 season, but...
Bad and Bougie had 2 seasons.
2 seasons, and then it's 3 seasons for Last Re-Up.
Yeah.
Okay, and shout out to the cast.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Everybody did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
With that story. It is awesome. And where can they go to catch that? It's on YouTube?
It's on YouTube. 180th Street Films.
Okay, make sure you go, follow, subscribe, ring that bell.
Oh, yes, please.
For that new content and everything, right?
That's right.
So what is in the future for Iesha Brown? Like, any new projects coming up that you want to work on?
Well, we're doing The Whore Next Door.
The Whore Next Door, y'all. Did you have a casting call for that, or where you at with that right now?
The Whore Next Door, I did do a casting call for that. Okay. But me, I like to deal with the people that I started with. Okay. So like the same people that I had from Bad and Bougie and The Last Re-Up are mostly the same for The Whore Next Door. But I did do a casting call, and I do have some new people.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
And the good thing about that, you are developing characters, right?
Yeah.
And you get to see somebody through this character, and you see them again. So you see how an actor or an actress can grow.
That's right.
And their range, you know, so that's good.
Yeah.
And then you can rely on them.
That's right.
Because that's a problem that I know a lot of people that do films and web series have problems with finding a reliable cast.
Yeah.
They think if I'm not getting paid, I mean, we understand that sometimes life, people can't make certain obligations, but you don't understand how serious that is too when you have a production to run.
That's right.
And you need,
it's
you
rough.
know, so when we have the cast, we're going to come back with the cast. Okay. And we'll talk about some of the challenges and some of the things like that when we get everybody back on board.
Yeah.
So again, everybody, this is Iesha Brown, 180th Street Films, and we'll be right back with some cast members. Don't go nowhere.